We had a really great event in the sky this morning. Hopefully you were able to see it. If you woke up around 4 o'clock in the morning, we had a total lunar eclipse of the moon this morning where it got covered by the Earth's shadow. So we're going to talk about that first, and then we're going to talk about a question that I was given about halos. Not my halo, we're talking about solar halos, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's go ahead and talk about that eclipse. What is an eclipse? And what happened this morning? Well, with a lunar eclipse is when the moon goes through the shadow of the Earth. And that's what happened this morning, and it went completely through the shadow. Sometimes you can have partial eclipses where it just kind of cuts around the corner of a shadow. This one went right through the shadow and completely covered the moon and gave it a little bit of a kind of an eerie red glow this morning around 4:15 or so in the morning if you were up there. So let's take a look at how you can make your own eclipse. Lunar eclipse we're talking, not solar eclipse. Solar eclipse is when the moon blocks out the sun on the Earth and then we see its shadow. So what we have here is we have a lamp that's shining on my globe. You can see the globe spinning and creaking along there. That's the Earth. We need to have the Earth. And then I have this baseball. This is the moon. And you can see it here as I'm holding it up in the light of the sun. So this is the moon going around the Earth. And as the moon goes behind the Earth, it gets into the shadow, and look what happens. It disappears. And that's what happened this morning. There's the moon. It's in the light. It's of the light of the sun there. And then it goes behind the Earth, and it disappears. So this is a reenactment of what you saw this morning in all its glory and splendor. There's the moon, and then disappears. The only problem is that we were looking at it from a different angle. So we could see the whole disk of the moon as it was completely being lit up. It was a full moon. And then it slowly got eaten away by the shadow of the Earth and disappeared behind the Earth, and then it came back out again. So let's take a look at the timing of this. Let's go over here to our weather wall of this total lunar eclipse that happened this morning. So what we're going to be dealing with here, we have the Earth, we have the sun, and here's the shadow that's coming up behind the Earth from the sun hitting the Earth. We have the part that's called the penumbra, and that's a partial shadow. So you have light coming from the bottom of the sun and getting around the Earth here, and you have light coming from the top of the sun and getting around here. And so that's where it's shadowy, but we're still getting some light. And so it's a partial shadow. And the moon started going through that this morning, but then once it hit the umbra, which is the complete shadow, it's the darker portion of the shadow, that's when the moon really started to disappear. And we can see it changing a little color here. It starts to get kind of a yellowish to an orange hue to it as it goes through the umbra, or the darkest part of the shadow. And that started at around, well, it reached its full eclipse at 4:11. But it was right around 4 o'clock or so that we had that. And then it started to make its way. There's this maximum right in the center of the umbra at 4:18. So it was moving along pretty quickly. And then it passed out. And by that time, it was about 4:25. So if you woke up at around 4:30, that's the time that I woke up and looked outside. You could see just a sliver of the bright, moon coming out. It was starting to just come out of the umbra. But still, it was kind of a orangish, bluish color is what I saw as it was going down. And the lower it got in the horizon, the larger that the moon appeared. It was really neat coming into work this morning after about 4:30, 5 o'clock. We could see that as you're driving along, that low-lying moon. But the whole time it spent in the umbra, was totally immersed in the umbra, was only about 14 minutes. Which, you're talking about time, that's not too bad. A good space of time that you can have that umbra out there, that you can see the shadow of the Earth on the moon. So that happened this morning, and that was our total lunar eclipse. This is the first one of, of the decade that we're going to have. And there's going to be more. Well, there definitely will be some more. It may not be right here, but we will have more, of course, around the Earth. Next, let's go to our question of the day. Question, this comes from Pat Sardo, and he wrote me and said, I took a picture of the ring around the sun today. So this was actually a couple weeks ago. And it looked like the outer ring was a rainbow. At 72, this is the first time I remember ever seeing this. What is the cause? Well, this is actually something that a lot of people may not notice. It's a lot easier to notice if you have polarized sunglasses, because it makes the colors of the ring stand out. But this is what is called a solar halo, and this is a picture of it. And this is called a 22-degree solar halo. And where they get that 22 degrees from is if I'm standing here and I kind of put my arms out to the center of the sun to where the ring is and then bring it out, that's about a 22 degree. If it comes from the center of my chest out to this hand, that's a 22 degree angle. And that's why they call it a 22 degree angle solar halo, because this is a halo, looks like a halo. If you've ever seen one, that's what it looks like, and it's around the sun. But they can be rather spectacular at times, again, especially if you wear your polarized sunglasses, put that on, it's like, whoa, it really stands out, and you can see the color. So what causes this? Well, what we need is you need to start out with ice crystals. Ice crystals form in a hexagon shape. And so they create little prisms. And when you have high, thin cirrus clouds that are up in the sky, they're really high. That means it's very, very cold. And so you get the ice crystals that form when you get some precipitation that starts to form up in the clouds. So you get a little condensation. It's actually called deposition is what it's called, when you go from water vapor to a solid or ice. And in this case, we have ice. And so this forms what is kind of like a prism. You've seen a prism before, and what it does is it bends light. And so as the sun's light comes through the ice crystal, it gets bent. And you have all the different colors of the rainbow that are coming from the white light of the sun. You have the less energetic red waves that you see, the red light that's coming through, so it doesn't bend as much. And then you have the more energetic blue lights or purple lights that come through that, and those have more energy, and so it bends more as it goes through the prism. So you get this separation of colors, and that is called refraction, is the bending of the light, and they're bent according to energy. And so the less energy is less bend, more energy is more bend, and so that's why you get the different colors of light that come from there. So you have the red light and then the violet light, which is more energetic. So we'll take this ice crystal, we'll pull it up in the sky, and it takes more than just one. In fact, you're dealing with probably billions of ice crystals that are floating around up in the sky, and it's all those ice crystals that are bending the light, and we see the light from the different ice crystals at different elevations. And so a higher elevation ice crystal is going to bend the light more, the blue light, so that's what we're going to see as it comes directly into our eyeball. And then you have ice crystals that are a little bit lower than that, and they're going to be bending more the middle colors. So you're going to be dealing with more of the green and the yellow colors. And then you have, of course, the less bending light, and that's going to be ice crystals that are a little bit lower than those other crystals that are bending it less, and that's where we're seeing the red light from that. So this is what gives a halo, that kind of color that you see. And because, again, it's the separation of the colors at 22 degrees, and so that's why you have that circle around the sun, is because of the separation of those colors from the ice crystals that are up there, and thus you get a 22 degree solar halo. And here you can see we have the more reddish colors on the inside, because the bending of the light is less, because that's less energetic, and then you've got the more violet colors that are on the outside, because the bending of the light is more energetic. So less energetic to more energetic with that 22 degree halo. Now guess what happens if this happens at night? If you have some high thin cirrus clouds and you have the moon out there, well, you can actually get a lunar halo. You can have a 22 degree lunar halo. We had just one not too long ago. Actually, I had a friend of mine send a picture in. Didn't come out the best, but this didn't happen. Now what's happening with the light? Are you getting direct light from the sun? No, you're not getting direct light. You're getting reflected light off of the moon from the sun. The moon doesn't produce its own light. It's reflected off. And so what's happening is you're not going to have as bright of a halo with a lunar halo. It's a little bit harder to see, and it's going to be a little bit harder to see the colors. And so you can see here the colors don't really stand out very much, but you can see that kind of a more of a whitish hue that goes around the moon at an angle of about 22 degrees. So that is a lunar halo. So you can have a solar halo during the day and a lunar halo at night. And usually you need to have the sun kind of higher in the sky, so it's up above the ice crystals, giving you that lunar halo effect or a solar halo effect, depending on whether it's the sun or whether it's the moon. So let's go ahead. I have a little demonstration that's going to point out what's going on and how to bend light. You can do this at your own home if you have a prism. Let's go over to our demonstration table over here. We've taken the table away, but we have the whiteboard up, and we're going to dim the lights once more, just so we can see how this works. So we have the light, and this is a pretty powerful light, going through the prism that's set up. I put it on top of a glass, and then the light's going into the prism. It's bending the light, and it's shooting that light in the different colors of the rainbow here on the whiteboard. So you can see on the inside here, the side that's farthest away from me is more the violet colors. That violet color turns into more of a purple color, and it's hard to see, but this actually does go to a little bit of a green, to more of a yellow, to more of an orange, to more of a red, and it gets a darker red. So those are all the colors of the rainbow from the light being bent or what we call refracted, through that glass prism that I have on the table. So it's kind of neat. You can see the different colors there, and that's what's going on. So those ice crystals that are up in the sky are bending the light, giving us that really cool halo around the sun. And again, especially if you wear the polarized sunglasses, you can see the colors a lot better. I kind of liked it with the lights down. How about you? Well, hopefully that answers your question. And hopefully we all learned something today. It's kind of fun to talk about these kinds of things, especially when you can kind of break it down and see how the weather works, how the atmosphere works, how the universe works. It's kind of neat to see how we get lunar eclipses and solar halos all together. So if you have a question, make sure you email me. You can email me directly at dverdorn@hearst.com and ask your question. I'll try to answer your question via email, but also I may use it for a Weather World segment. Thanks for joining me for this Weather World segment, and don't forget to never stop asking questions.